So what do you do when a colleague, teacher, or even a professor says evolution is a fact? I recommend you stand firmly on the word. In addition, I would suggest that you politely question that person, saying something like, I understand that there are a lot of things wrong with the theory of evolution. Notice I said politely. We do not recommend an in-your-face or sarcastic approach. All that does is create strife and defensiveness, not learning. After all, 2 Timothy 2:24 says, a servant of the Lord must not quarrel, but be gentle to all, able to teach, patient. But even if you are gentle, that teacher or person might seem to turn into a wolf spider, and you will feel like that tiny little millipede that is about ready to get chewed up and spit out. Well, don't lose heart. Remember 1 John 4:4. Greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. Actually, that millipede secretes tiny droplets of fluid that will paralyze that wolf spider for over a week. An 8th grade girl was in a science class. Her teacher insisted that evolution is a fact, and if you don't believe in evolution, there is something wrong with you. She said she disagreed. The teacher retorted, well, I'm going to have you crying by the end of the term because of your beliefs. Nice guy, huh? You know, that battle is fierce out there. But this story really does have a funny twist. The girl didn't go out crying, but managed to convince the teacher to show a creation film in class. When other teachers sarcastically commented on what he was showing, he said, well, I think it is important for students to see both sides of the issue. So you never know what happens when you stand firm. In another situation, a 12-year-old came to one of our seminars. The next year, he met Mr. Poison, his 7th grade science teacher, who said, evolution is a fact. That is the way we teach it here at this school. Well, this 7th grader stood firmly and politely said, sir, I think there are a lot of things wrong with the theory of evolution. At that point, the teacher turned into that wolf spider and said, oh, you do you? Well, you and I are going to have a debate on that subject one of these days in class in front of all these students. Well, many students would crawl under the desk with this type of intimidation, but not this 7th grader. He stood firm and said, oh, good, when? Kind of a glutton for punishment, wasn't he? Oh, one of these days, the teacher said. The student must have appeared too eager. The teacher never would say when. Finally, without warning, one of these days finally came, and the teacher announced, today is a day for the debate. Get your chair up here. They had their debate. Understand that 2 Timothy 2:15 says, be diligent to present yourselves approved to God as a workman who does not need to be ashamed, accurately handling the word of truth. That is why I always recommend that you students who are Christians should do just that, not only with the Bible, but with other subjects as well. Study harder than the rest of the students and know both sides of the argument. Well, that's exactly what the student did. He studied what he had on the subject, which mainly were several copies of our publication, Think and Believe. But guess what? At the end of this debate, these students determined that the student won the debate. Afterwards, the whole class gave him a standing ovation.